Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. It is 9 o'clock here, Monday night, September the 8th. Time for the First Alert Weather Show at 9. If you want to comment in, give a report, make a comment, whatever you want, I'm watching the 14 News Facebook page, so we'll check it out over there. Meanwhile, we are waiting for rain again and for 90-degree temperatures to return, which will all happen in the days ahead here this week. The first thing, though, is that we will still get down into the low 50s overnight. So another cool night, good sleeping weather out there. But then by tomorrow, we have sunny and dry conditions continuing, and the temperature will start to stair-step up. Now, tomorrow, probably around 85 or so. Wednesday, 87, 88, and 90, up to about 92 or 3 by the weekend. And no rain really showing up. The radar is quiet right now, as you'd expect. In fact, everything east of the Mississippi is quiet. We still have some severe weather out here in Oklahoma and northern Texas. It was in Kansas earlier. But that's it. There's really nothing else. Our northeasterly winds will begin to back around to the south over the next couple of days, and that's really the main factor in the weather. Now, our model, and I'm not buying this, but it keeps wanting to generate rain. I think the atmosphere is way too dry for that. By Thursday morning, it's doing the same thing. And by the way, this is the only model that's showing rain. Everything else I've looked at and consulting with Byron and Arden and Michael, we don't think it's going to rain this week, at least not like that we're seeing on the model. So why show it, right? Well, it illustrates the uncertainty here. Of course, then I guess if we do get rain, I can say, well, we told you Monday, but I wouldn't do that because I really don't think we're going to see any this week. And here's what I mean. The dew points are very low right now, which means the air is dry. And with dry air, you're much more challenged to get any rain from the clouds all the way to the surface. Our temperature by Wednesday, Thursday, cropping up into the 90s. Notice our lows will also move up too. Part of that is because of the higher temperature during the day, but we're also expecting more humidity. And moist air, as we've said many times here on the First Alert Weather Show at 9 and other places, is harder to cool and to heat, actually. So the GFS rainfall through next Monday shows a 1/10 of an inch, maybe. And that is mainly tied up with the Sunday-Monday chances for rain, which we'll get into here in a bit. So we have this nice big dome of cool air over the east. That's going to gradually move out over the Atlantic Ocean. And after it does that, then we kind of open the door to the Gulf to send heat and humidity back our way, or tropical air. Temps are all in the 50s, except for Greenville at 63, Owensboro and Newburgh there in the mid-60s. Today we hit 78 for the high. That's still about 6 degrees cooler than normal. Our low was off the charts going the other way there, 46, which is 3 degrees shy of tying a record. And of course, no rain here at this point. For September now, we're still just barely keeping our head above water there, but we've had so much dry weather in August leading up to this that the drought monitor actually did update and includes now much of the tri-state in moderate drought conditions, which is not really surprising given we've gone a long period of time without significant rainfall. I mean, I know we had some last week, but it's kind of surrounded by a lot of hot, dry weather. Tomorrow we should get up into the lower 80s, and we really don't have any cold fronts to show you or warm fronts. High pressure moving out, that's about it. The tropics, while they continue to simmer, nothing has really gotten organized. Not that I'm cheering for hurricanes, it's just curious that we've seen wave after wave come off the African coast there and then just kind of fizzle. The Caribbean is quiet and the Gulf is quiet right now. I mean, we have just regular thunderstorms there off Florida, but we can't rule out something spinning up here in the next few days. So certainly consideration. The Hurricane Center watching the two highest probability areas for tropical storm development, and the one, of course, that we tend to monitor the closest is the Gulf and the Caribbean, since that's a little closer to our shores, but we also like to keep an eye on things as those storms move off of Africa. Storm risk, of course, it's nil for the tri-state. There will be some storms out in the high plains and the foothills of the Rockies there through Tuesday. Wednesday, we remain dry. and really, for all practical purposes, dry for the rest of the week. High pressure up here between Lake Erie and Lake Ontario will continue to move out over Buffalo, Watertown, and then into Caribou, Maine before heading on out to the maritime provinces there, Nova Scotia, and then on out. And as that happens, then in the void here, we have that wind shifting around to the south, and that's maybe what our model is picking up on is a little plume of moisture coming in there, but it's curious that no other model is showing rain. So we'll keep an eye on that, and you know, I guess if we're still showing rain tomorrow on our model, then I'll go with it. But I need a little more consistency there before I'm going to jump in the water. We go into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, dry. This is the GFS now. By Monday, we do see maybe some rain related to a couple of tropical systems. And again, this is longer range, showing an organized tropical storm out here to the northeast of the Caribbean, and maybe something else in the Gulf down here. It's still a little murky how that might come together. The European model is also advertising a little bit of rain by the end of the weekend. You'll see it here Sunday night, or Sunday afternoon rather, going into Monday. So that's curious because none of the other models were showing that. So you see, kind of, you know, a little frustrating here. We'll just kind of take it as it comes. That's a week away. We've got plenty of time to tweak the forecast. 50 tonight and clear. Tomorrow we should easily get into the low to mid 80s, 83. 7-day forecast is hot. Haven't said hot in a while, but it is going to be hot starting Thursday and continuing into the weekend. The temperature outlook through the 18th there, about the middle of the month or a little beyond, much warmer than normal again. There's your 90s, and drier than normal too. And I think we have a reprise pet pick. We have Ainsley Ferguson and Minnie crossed the Rainbow Bridge a couple weeks ago. So hopefully Ainsley is watching, and this makes her feel a little bit better. All right, let's see what your questions are here tonight. And we had, let's see here. I can't get my phone. There it goes. All right, let's see. 45 this morning at Jeff Miller's house out in Savant. And William Raleigh got almost an inch of rain last week, 94 hundredths. Susan Daly says hello. Well, all right. Scott Owens in there too. Ricky Brown loves the weather. Cheyenne Hammonds, good evening. How are you guys doing? Yeah, it's hard not to like this kind of weather. I mean, there really aren't many downsides to it. I've been taking pictures of the moon. The full corn moon, of course, was Saturday, but it's still pretty full today, and it was yesterday. We had that blood moon yesterday, you know, kind of that red tint to it, and that comes from mainly atmospheric conditions out there. But the moon is actually very close to us now in its orbit, and so that kind of boosts the size of it. We call that a supermoon, and we will have supermoons in October, November, December, because it'll be pretty close to its closest point there during those months when it's full too. And as I said last week, I'll just repeat it here, the lunar cycle over that 29 and a half days, the moon, you know, is full, it's quarter, and then it's new. When it's new, it's between us and the sun, you can't see it, or the Earth's shadow's in the way and you can't see the moon. The moon moves a little bit each day, which is why it comes up about 45 to 50 minutes later each night. And the orbit here, the perigee is where it's at its closest. Apogee's way out here at its farthest. So it appears about 14% larger at apogee than it does at perigee. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, I always turn this around. It appears it's going to be big the next 3 months, okay, as opposed to when it's far away at apogee. Maybe that makes sense. I'm just going to quit talking here. The more I talk, the more confusing it's going to be. Okay, I don't see any more questions in there. I hope you'll join us on 14 News at 10. I'm going to try to figure out what else I can say about this gorgeous weather. We'll come up with something. Thanks for watching 14 First Alert Weather Show here at 9. Stay safe. Have a good night.